All right, let's dive right into this explainer and transform you from a nervous, stressed out candidate into a completely confident storyteller who knows exactly how to ace a job interview. Look, if you've ever felt that awful pit in your stomach right before walking into a room or logging onto a Zoom call, you are absolutely in the right place. We're going to break down the actual science and strategy of interviewing, pulling directly from career coaches, communication experts, and hiring managers.
Take this hilarious quote from the YouTube channel, The Urban Fight. It perfectly captures that sheer, brain-freezing panic we all get in the hot seat. I mean, an engineering graduate claiming they're studying to be a doctor? There's no way! But honestly, when we're stressed, our brains practically short-circuit, right? We end up blurting out things that don't even make sense. The good news, though? You can actually engineer that panic right out of the equation.
So don't worry, because we've got a clear, chronological roadmap to get you through this entirely stress-free. We're looking at the interview anxiety cure, the critical 90 seconds, the ultimate trick question, the perfect answer formula, delivering with confidence, and finally, post-interview success tactics.
Starting off with Part 1, the interview anxiety cure.
You know, career coaches have been studying this stuff from decades. Richard Coons' Career Power Strategies, for instance, show us that employers are universally looking for evidence of just 4 things: your ability to do the job, your compatibility with the team, your motivation, and your self-confidence. If you realize that every single question they ask is secretly just a test for one of those 4 pillars, well, you instantly gain a massive advantage.
So how do we actually show off those traits? Both the U.S. Department of Labor and the Juzor Career Blog agree you've got to research the organization's mission and deeply review your own resume to seamlessly connect your skills to their needs. But here is the real secret weapon. Columbia Business School professor Michael Chad Hopner advises practicing what he calls loud drafting. Basically, you repeatedly answer open-ended prompts out loud. Do it while walking around your living room or driving your car until you sound totally natural. Because let's face it, just thinking about an answer is vastly different from the physical act of saying it out loud.
Moving on to Part 2, the critical 90 seconds.
According to Ivy League communication experts like Hopner, you have exactly 90 seconds to grab your interviewer's attention. Seriously, 90 seconds. People's attention spans are shorter than ever these days, which means you absolutely cannot treat that first question as just a simple warm-up. You've got to come out swinging right out of the gate, treating that very first impression like the opening statement of a major debate.
And get this staggering statistic from Richard Coons. 80% of a first impression is entirely visual. 80%! And it's fully formed within the first 2 minutes. This is exactly why arriving early, dressing the part, and having great posture is so vital. As the CareerVids channel points out, your attire literally signals your intentions. Showing up dressed poorly silently screams that you just don't care.
Which brings us to Part 3, the ultimate trick question.
Entrepreneur and CEO Dan Lok explains that interviewers really don't want your life story. When they drop the classic, "Tell me about yourself" prompt, they are secretly asking WIIFM, what's in it for them? They want to know what value and what specific solutions you bring to their company. That is literally the only lens you should ever use to answer this question. Think about it like this. A rambling, personal life story is basically a tangled maze for the interviewer. If you start talking about where you grew up, your pets, or your random hobbies at length, they're going to tune out almost immediately. Instead, you want to be a bullseye. A highly concise, benefit-driven professional snapshot proves that you are focused, relevant, and the absolute perfect fit. You've got to lead with your strongest foot forward. The educational channel ChetChat actually offers a brilliant 1-minute maximum template for this. You start with a formal greeting based on the time of day, state your full name proudly, announce your current position and company, hit your top relevant qualifications, and then sprinkle in some professional adjectives. Think words like solution-oriented or team player to really define your work ethic. Career strategist Linda Rainier really drives this home, reminding us to keep the focus purely on professional background and experiences. Unless a personal hobby directly connects to a skill needed for the job, like, say, a daily marathon habit that shows immense discipline, you really need to leave those personal stories out of your opening pitch.
All right, Part 4, the perfect answer formula.
Dan Lok has this brilliant 3 S's formula that gives you the ultimate roadmap to structure your answer. Step 1, start with your past successes to showcase your skill set without sounding like you're bragging. Step 2, highlight your core strengths. And Step 3, immediately apply those to the company's current situation. And then, this is genius, End with a strategic question that hands the mic right back to them, like, is that the type of experience you're looking for? Boom, you just transformed an interrogation into a two-way conversation.
Alternatively, Linda Rainier suggests a slightly different but totally effective structure, providing a chronological snapshot. Basically, you go back in time to your earliest professional job, briefly describe your titles, your tenure, and your major responsibilities, and use that to build this compelling, upward narrative that leads directly to where you are today.
Whichever formula you end up going with, CareerVids insists you've got to weave in 4 essential elements: proven matching skills for the role, relevant historical experience, a track record of significant achievements, and positive intentions. That last one is huge. It shows you the kind of upbeat, driven person they actually want to work with.
Moving to part 5, delivering with confidence. You know what happens when people get nervous? They try so hard to be professional that they strip away their entire personality. Please, avoid becoming a stiff, robotic version of yourself. Instead, relax your posture, use some natural hand gestures, make meaningful eye contact, and just project enthusiastic confidence. Remember to smile, and don't forget to breathe.
As Michael Chad Hopner points out in this fantastic quote, over-preparing a written statement often makes you sound totally unnatural. He says a bunch of polysyllabic pablum comes pouring out, simply because we speak very differently than we write. This is exactly why that loud drafting technique we talked about earlier is your best friend. Know your bullet points, for sure, but let the exact wording flow spontaneously once you're in the room.
And finally, part 6, post-interview success tactics.
So your immediate post-interview strategy needs a strict timeline. On day 1, always send a concise thank you note highlighting your strengths and expressing your continued interest. Over the next couple of days, take some time to reflect on your performance. And finally, follow up patiently within their established timeframes. The key here is to be persistent but never aggressive.
I absolutely love this concept from the Jussor Career blog. They recommend making a golden part cheat sheet. Here's how it works. Take 30 minutes after every single interview to just jot down your feelings, the toughest questions they threw at you, and any mistakes you made, right into a notebook. By reviewing this golden part notebook, you're literally turning every single rejection into a powerful piece of intelligence. It's going to make you so much sharper for the next round.
All right, you've got the tools now. Loud drafting, the 90-second visual hook, and the WIIFM formula. So here's the final question you really have to ask yourself before stepping into your next interview. Are you walking in there just hoping to survive their questions, or are you walking in fully prepared to lead the conversation? Because honestly, the moment you decide to lead, you've already won the job.